saving the day, this should feel like a big, huge event, and it doesn't. It feels smaller than Man of Steel, and it feels colossally smaller in comparison to Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman. What it does do right, and what I do believe firmly was Zack Snyder's original idea, was to put Superman, was to tell a story with Superman. When you meet, this is why Man of Steel wasn't called Superman, Man of Steel. It was called Man of Steel. Yeah. Because he was this guy who didn't want to be what he was. He didn't want this responsibility. It was thrown on him. You know, his dad had put him in this really weird position where he sort of said, you need to hide your powers.
Yeah.
Because that's what a parent, as a parent, I understand where Jonathan Kent comes from.
And even in Batman v Superman, Martha Kent has this great line where she says, you don't know this world a thing, Clark. You never did.
And he looks at her as if to say, really? You know, I honestly believe Zack Snyder had a plan that by the time we got to Justice League, when he was reborn, he was going to be Superman. Yeah,
but like Superman as we know him. Like you know, the proper Christopher Reeve believes in truth and righteousness and the American way.
We get that in Justice League, although it's ham-fisted, but we do, where he's like, oh, you know, I'm also a big fan of Truth and Justice, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then where he races the Flash, and there's there's a really good scene, and I love it, it's so good, where Flash is pushing the truck, and he looks over, and Superman's carrying the whole building. And I just think that to me is... But on saying that, as bad as Justice League is, and again, I'm going to get flack for this, I don't think it's any worse than a lot of Marvel movies.
It's not, no. I mean, like, I recently went to see Ant-Man and the Wasp in the cinema there, and it's fodder.
Yeah, it's fluff.
Yeah, but it's
fun.
It's fun, it's enjoyable, it passes the time. It's like eating fast food, you know, you're just hungry again in an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
But you still enjoyed it when you were eating it.
So I think... Now we're in a situation where we have of course, with Birds of Prey coming. We got two trailers. The two most recent trailers from DC we got was Shazam, which looks so much fun. Which looks so much fun. It looks so good. And Aquaman, which a lot of people are complaining about the CGI and stuff. Nothing has ever been done to this scale.
Yeah.
To what is it going to look CGI? Yeah, it is. But it's also going to look, hopefully, like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah, but do you know what? Puppets look like puppets. Matte paintings look like matte paintings.
That's true, yeah.
It's just a tool that they use to tell the story, because...
Like when you're watching something, your brain's telling you that's not real.
Yeah, but so what?
So what? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can actually film movies in space or film movies underwater all the time without being a huge technological nightmare.
Exactly.
So... use what you have there and stop complaining so much about it. It's just a tool, a device used to tell a story.
I honestly think Aquaman and Shazam are going to be game changers. And of course, we've got Wonder Woman 1984, which looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It looks mental as well, really doesn't it?
Now, the big one that we're talking about, and this is, we're getting back to what Andrew was messaging here on as well, is Matt Reeves is making the Batman movie, which apparently has been scripted. And now the talk is that Ben Affleck isn't going to be Batman in it. And of course, this has been because there was a lot of talk about Ben Affleck's going to leave and he's not coming back and he's unhappy and blah, 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 which could be true, of course. But I don't think, honestly, to me, I don't think Ben Affleck was ever going to be Batman in this movie.
Yeah. I think it's a prequel, isn't it?
20 years in Gotham, how many good men are left? I think we're going to be told the story 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We're going to see a 20-year-old Batman. We're going to see... They're not going to tell an origin story. We're not going to get Batman Begins again.
No.
We're not going to get Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, again. We're going to get a Batman who's been doing it for a while, and he's going to come up against his first major threat. Be it Black Mask, Penguin, Ra's al Ghul, whatever. Yeah. I think that's the movie we're going to get. And it's going to be somebody like Jake Gyllenhaal is going to play him. It's going to be a younger actor, and it's going to be... And I think that's really smart, because it means that you can tell two different linear timelines within one cinematic universe.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's really smart.
I am all for that.
I'm totally okay with that. But to me, I love Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's Batman 1989, was the movie, more so than Star Wars or Ghostbusters, that made me love cinema.
Yeah.
We've had this converstion on the show before, years ago.
Like, we even had it off air several times.
We've had it off air. You know, Anton First's set design, Danny Elfman's score, Tim Burton's direction.
Yeah.
Everything
the
about
Batsuit itself, the art style of it. Jack
everything
Nicholson's
just
Joker.
came back into it beautifully.
Even
everything
Prince's
works.
music.
Even Prince's music. I don't like Prince. I never liked Prince. I love that soundtrack.
But still, like, you put Bat Dance on, do not change that channel.
Don't you dare. Or The Future. Or, you know, Party Man. All these songs. Amazing songs. That was the movie to me. So, as much as I love Michael Keaton, I think Michael Keaton nailed Bruce Wayne and Batman for me. But I gotta be honest with you, Ben Affleck's my Batman.
Yeah.
Because he's brutal, he's raw, he has the physicality for it.
Yeah.
And I just really, I need to see Ben Affleck back again at some point. But I do think that we're going to get the story of how the death of Robin, how Barbara Gordon became Ariel, Oracle, sorry. I think we're going to get told all these things, and it's going to be told with a younger man in the suit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
That's the only way you can do it, really, isn't it? Because, the whole reasoning behind doing Batman v Superman was that it was to sort of put that new shift and new dynamic on the relationship between Batman and Superman.
Exactly.
Where it's an old and bitter Bruce Wayne. If you think about it, Bruce Wayne within this continuity as played by Ben Affleck, he's 20 years shy of Batman Beyond's character.
Exactly.
So he's getting to that point where he's old, he's bitter, he's cynical, he doesn't trust anyone. He's not making any new friends. So whenever someone else shows up on the scene and it causes such a catastrophe like Superman does, he instantly regards him as his enemy. That's why that line that I love so much, if there's a 1% chance he's our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. But then we're going to flash back from that to the younger, experienced but still quite naive Batman.
Yeah,
that does have a little bit of hope left in him. That he's working as hard as he can to make sure no one ever ends up the same as he was, a scared little boy in an alley with his parents dead at his feet.
But you see, what they've got there now is we've got an opportunity to see Batman starting out as the young, optimistic crime fighter.
Yeah,
and then we'll see that event that turns him into the death of Robin.
Yeah.
We'll see that happen. We'll see Joker and Harley Quinn kill Robin, and we'll understand why Batman is a killer when we meet him, because he's, men are still good. He has lost his soul, he's lost his purpose, he's lost but Superman brings him back to that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people don't get this, and I don't understand why you can't, think about what we're seeing here.
Well, see, I think it's because we're too used in this day and age to have everything being spoon-fed to us.
Yeah.
No one sits and actually thinks. No, I think it's starting to die out now, where people, like ourselves, like, we go to see a movie, we're sitting in the car for about 3 or 4 hours, like, breaking it down and dissecting it and going like, but what do you think this meant? What do you think that meant? And oh, did you see the little reference here? And this is what they're setting up and stuff. People just watch it, take it at face value and go, oh, that was a bit awful, wasn't it? That didn't explain anything.
But like, taking case in point, the Martha scene.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't really well handled. I have to admit to that. I do understand it wasn't. They could have handled it better. But to me, it's such an important scene. I think in the director's cut, I could be wrong, I'm almost sure in the director's cut they introduced more of the flashback of his mum dying that night in the street and stuff.
I think so,
they've interspiced more of that.
Yeah.
To me, whenever I came out of the movie, I thought, I never made the connection that Bruce's mum and Clark's mum
were both named
called Martha. Yeah. And everybody was saying as well, well, why did he not say save my mum? Because Martha isn't Superman's mum. She's Clark Kent's mum. And it's, the whole thing behind that is I don't think until that point Batman had even considered that Superman wasn't always just Superman.
Yeah, he just saw him as a thing, as an entity,
he was
an
a
enemy.
monster. He didn't have a mum. He didn't put a suit on and go to work in the morning. He didn't.
Yeah.
That never occurred to him.
Because, imagine the amount of people that Batman has had in that position.
Yeah.
Where he's about to end them. Going like, you're scum, you're nothing. And their last words are something like, I hate you, Batman, or something that's a little bit NSFW that I can't say on air. But, and he's just used to that. So imagine he gets himself in the same position where he thinks this guy is evil, he's horrible, and he has to be destroyed. And the last thing that this thing is thinking of before it dies isn't itself. It isn't Batman. It's its mother.
Yeah.
And that's the minute. That's the second he humanizes him.
But that's one thing. But the other thing as well is, to me, and I've had this conversation with people as well, and I'm like, to me, this is what this... And they're like, well, I don't get that. And, it wasn't very well. And I'm like, it doesn't... This is what you're saying, being spoon-fed. Whenever he's about to kill Superman, he has Superman. He's beating him with the kryptonite. He's about to kill him. He's about to do what he set out to do 2 years before. And he's about to kill him. And when he says Martha to him, he suddenly realizes that he has become the thing that killed his parents that night in the alleyway.
Yeah.
The whole reason he did this was because of his Martha.
Yeah.
And once he realised the Superman's just a person like everybody else, and he sees the flaws in himself that he sees that he didn't see in Superman before, I think it's beautiful. Honestly, it's beautiful.
To add more on top of that as well, if he goes through with it, if he kills Superman, another Martha dies. And that's why he comes out with the line of, I promise you Martha will not die tonight.
Yeah.
And he runs off to the Batplane.
Yeah.
It's so sad that people in this day and age don't recognise something called visual storytelling.
Yeah.
It sets up everything. Just all you have to do is sit and watch it and dissect it.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is, I kind of blame those movies now that say leave your brain at the door. I don't agree with that. Where, like, there's people that watch Transformers movies and go, that was the best movie in the world ever. It was amazing because of all the explosions. Because it's so basic. And I'm not above that. I will sit and watch Bumblebee and Optimus Prime kick ass. I love watching Transformers kick a bit of robot backside. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I know it's just chewing gum for the eyes. I know it's nonsense. But then you get something that's trying to be a bit more avant-garde, trying to be a bit more top tier, like what Zack Snyder was trying to do with Batman v Superman. Yeah. Everyone treats it the same way they treat a Transformers movie.
Do you think... to me, and this is something, Deadpool 2, we'll talk briefly about this as well, because we're out of time, like 10 minutes ago, but Deadpool 2 did this as well. Whenever Cable comes into Deadpool 2, which, by the way, I loved Deadpool 2. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. When they introduce Cable, doesn't tell you who he is, what his story is, his family died, he goes back in time, needs to sort it out. I loved it, because I know who Cable is. Right, and even when we were watching it, my wife was like, "Oh, what?" And I was like, "No, well, you see, in the comics this happened, and his dad in the comics this, and everything else." Right. I think Zack Snyder did the same with Batman v Superman and Man of Steel. He assumed that he was telling the story to people that knew what the story was.
Yeah, so in essence, he was saving a lot of time because I think that's one thing he listened to was the fact that everyone is so tired of reboots and the same thing over and over again. Yeah. It's to a much lesser extent. It's like Spider-Man's introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. He's already there. He's already established.
Which I loved, yes.
All it took was one quick scene with Tony Stark. Boom, he's there. Yeah. That's where he got his suit from. That's where he got his powers from. He got bit by a spider. It was radioactive. Now he's got superpowers. Yeah. But and the reason why I think The Amazing Spider-Man failed is because they told the exact same origin story that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie had told. So everyone's sick of saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Because Marvel... And this isn't a slight in the Marvel movies. I do love the Marvel movies. I know I do wind people up on Facebook and everything else, and I do love doing that. I do love the Marvel movies. I'm there first night for every movie. Normally go to see all the movies at least 2 or 3 times in the cinema. But they have created this thing now where audiences want to be told who this person is, how they got there, what their motivation is, why they're doing this, why the bad guy is exactly their person on the flip side of the coin. Yeah. DC aren't going to do that. And I love that they aren't going to do that. Yeah. Like you can jump into a Greek tragedy halfway through and you still get the tragedy. With Man of Steel, with Batman v Superman, they treated the audience like they were familiar with the lore, that they were in it for the story.
See, they treated them like they were intelligent human beings. They didn't treat them like idiots that had to be spoon-fed and have their hand held as they walked through it all.
And so many people kick back about that. Yeah. But it's really, really strange. Right, okay, so I could talk about this all night. Okay, right, so what else? So many other things we've missed. What have we got? Infinity War.
Yeah.
Loved it. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just fun. Yeah, it's action packed. It's got a good story. Yeah, it's got a great villain, which to me is like whenever you think about the bad guy's grand plan, you go, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe you could just use your Infinity Gauntlet to like double the amount of food and stuff that people need instead. But well.
Yeah, but when if even for a second you go, sort of can see where he's coming from, then they have you. Then he's a good villain. Yeah. Because right away, he's not this despicable, deplorable character.
Well, again, it's one of those things where the best villains are the ones where they believe they're the good
right.
guy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Thanos was the main character in this movie. Yeah. They made it all about him, which was fantastic. And they had every right to do it because we've had all the other heroes in this be the main character throughout all their movies, throughout the Avengers team-up films as well. So... They tried it a little bit with Civil War, where they're like, okay, whose side do you pick? Yeah. Like, who are you on board with? And now for Infinity War, now it was a case of, you know who all these people are, let them stand back a bit. Thanos is coming into the limelight now, and what a cracking job they did.
And he was absolutely brilliant. Which then leads, of course, because Josh Brolin was also Cable.
In Deadpool 2, that's right, yeah.
Which to me, and again, I know it's apples and oranges, I love Deadpool more than I loved Infinity War.
I couldn't believe that, yeah.
I really did. I adored Deadpool. But again, I didn't think of it, I had no expectations because I liked the first movie, didn't love it. So it was just, I'm going to go and see this because the first movie was fun, blew me away. And I've watched it since, blows me away every time I watch it.
They've got a fantastic villain that's not really a villain.
Yeah.
And I appreciate things like that, where it's not just like, I'm a bad guy, I'm going to take over the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cut and dry as that.
Yeah, and you could buy why he became a villain.
Yeah.
I love that idea as well, that the villain was to be saved.
Yeah, because he has such a tragic backstory, and it broke him.
Yeah.
And it made him sort of hate humanity and hate the world. And I loved that.
Loved it. I loved it. I loved the humour. I thought the humour was brilliant.
Yeah.
And again, I loved what I thought was really good about it was because Deadpool is this